And we're back, and we just finished watching 1988's Die Hard, a Christmas movie. Absolutely.
Sort of. I kind of cheated when I picked this one.
It's an action, adventure, or thriller, I guess it's what it's tagged here on IMDb, but I feel like it is part of the Christmas lore because it takes place during Christmas, so
it's a Christmas movie in the loosest sense of the word. It takes place during Christmas. There are Christmas decorations visible in the movie, and one of the closing credits songs is a Christmas song. But
yes.
That's about it. There's
still
lots
a
of killing,
fun ride.
Lots of cursing, there's a couple of unnecessarily gratuitous boob shots in there.
I forgot about that. You know,
it was the
weird?
80s. You had to have at least one or two.
You know what? I was just going to say,
yeah.
like Uncle Jay says, it was the 80s.
Seriously, they probably had those in Benji movies. So it's just because it was the 80s.
Based on a novel by Rodrick Thorp, this is the story of one John McClane, fabulously played by the lovely Bruce Willis.
With hair.
Well, more hair than usual. I mean, he always had like a...
You could see he was developing the peninsula of hair on top of his head, but he still had a decent amount of hair there. It was like he was still doing moonlighting when this movie came out.
I believe so. Yeah, no, I think it was still on. Yes, so Mr. McClane goes out to Los Angeles to try to make amends with his wife, played by Bedelia, and then gets pulled into some German terrorist hijinks.
Yep.
Olivia, what did you think?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, what did you like about it?
It was very crazy.
It was very crazy.
And
Lots
also,
of action.
I love bloodshed.
You're totally our kid. What about you, Gigi? What did you think?
This movie was okay. I don't really care about it.
Really? Just okay. What could have made it better?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I was thinking about other stuff. I watched the beginning of the movie, but I just lost interest.
It didn't capture your
attention.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I could see you were kind of zoning out there.
I didn't notice. I was too busy enthralled in the movie. I forgot what a fun movie this was. Tons of cursing, but a fun movie.
Yeah. It's a fun movie. I could see like younger audiences maybe not getting into it because it still had... It was still done in that certain way of doing movies where it was like... Especially like the old action movies where there wasn't any kind of supernatural thing or it was just, guys with guns, where they actually like build up. They use the beginning of the story to just build something up. There isn't some sort of crazy hook that gets you hooked immediately. Mm-hmm. Like now, movies, it's within the first 5 minutes something crazy happens.
Right, sure.
Because they know the audience is just, they're going to zone out.
Short attention spans. Sure,
and this one, it takes it slow in the beginning. I mean, it's John McClane on an airplane. He's talking with the guy next to him, and then he gets in the limo. He has a discussion with the limo driver, and then at Nakatomi Plaza, the boss is talking with his wife, and it kind of like takes a while for even like the first sighting of the terrorists, and even then, it's just, there's a van and there's some ominous music.
Right.
And that's about it. And probably I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying that in today's day and age, if Die Hard were to be made today, first 2 minutes would have been somebody's head getting blown off or some sort of crazy action, happening.
Sure.
Now it was just like really building it up and giving you that time to know that, there's something weird going on with this guy and his wife. It's probably maybe even like 20 whole minutes in before the first action actually occurs.
Sure.
So,
but 20 minutes isn't really a long time.
You don't feel, it's not a long time, but for a kid today where,
that's true.
I mean, you
I didn't realize
you start
this
a
movie was 2 hours and 12 minutes. It didn't feel like it.
Really? It's that long?
Yeah. It says here, it's 2 hours and
That's
12 minutes.
interesting that they went that. I remember when this film came out, there was like a big hubbub because the studio that made it, it was like their last chance. They had to have.
This did well.
It did phenomenally well,
Yeah.
but I remember the studio that made it had to have a hit.
Mm-hmm.
They were banking everything on this movie, and it paid off for them.
Right. Well, it was fun. I mean, from start to finish, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this. But, I mean, to me, the story still holds up. The acting in it is really, just really well done. Bruce Willis is phenomenal in this. Phenomenal.
He's
Alan
great.
Rickman is amazing in this. Even, like, somebody like Alexander Goodenough, who's... It's a compressed character, but, like, his scenes are great in this. You tell that, like, he's just, like... He killed my brother, so now I want to get revenge, kind of.
Revenge, yeah.
And it's funny because it weaves brother revenge into another Die Hard.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But that Die Hard wasn't really about revenge. He couldn't give a crap.
It wasn't. He couldn't have cared less. But it was interesting that it sort of fed into the other one in that respect.
Yeah.
And obviously having John as the main character, but I don't know. I feel like I was totally enthralled. I wasn't really paying attention to anybody else other than the movie when I was watching it.
No, I mean I've always liked this movie, and it has. I would say that the franchise has spit out things of varying quality. I didn't really care for the second one. The third one I loved. I thought the third one was great. We're in the minority apparently in liking the fourth one.
That's the one with Justin Long.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked it.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, it's not a John McClane movie. What is it?
John McClane
Shut up.
movie. Yeah. I didn't see the one with Jai Courtney.
Never saw the last one.
Yeah.
I think by that point it was just sort of like, nah.
Yeah. I'll catch it on cable
Catch it on
eventually.
cable, and I just never did catch it on cable.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I've read about the history of this movie also. The character of John McClane was like a reoccurring character that this author wrote. And the first John McClane movie was actually made in like the 60s or something.
Oh, really?
And starred Frank Sinatra.
Are you kidding me? I had no idea.
So Bruce Willis, before they could give Bruce Willis the role, the studio had to offer the role to Frank Sinatra.
He was already like 1,000
But he was
years
like,
old
he was like
at that
1,000
point.
years old. There was no way that he was going to play the part. They knew he wouldn't, but they legally had to offer him the role first.
Oh, how interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Hollywood deals.
Wow. I mean, there's really nothing bad to say about this
Die
movie.
Hard.
It's
I mean,
freaking Die Hard.
You know, it's got its action moments.
It's got its dramatic moments.
It's got its
comedic moments.
It's got its cringy moments. I mean, him running on the glass.
Ooh, yeah.
Still looks super pale. And you know what's funny? John McClane was like I would say the genesis of the hero who gets the living crap kicked out of him as the film progresses.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of, I think prior to this, the heroes, you know, maybe they'd get a bruise, a cut on their lip, something like that. At the end of Die Hard, John McClane looks like a train wreck. He's been shot. He's got blood all over his body.
Yeah.
His feet are disgusting.
And but that's what's so funny that you brought that up. I kind of appreciated that because it's like no one could go through what he did.
But that's the thing. I think
not look like freaking Vin Diesel at the end of those Fast and Furious movies. Like, how the hell does that happen?
Yeah, those. Oh God, we're going on another Fast and Furious tangent.
But still, I mean, they're fun. But
Fast and
how did it? I
Furious
mean,
sucks.
it doesn't suck.
You've
They're
never actually seen any. But,
they're actually entertaining, but I still
you're
scratch
right.
my
I
head.
mean, Vin Diesel could fly across a highway at 60 miles an hour into a windshield of another car. And his tank top isn't even like ruffled or anything.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, John McClane at the end of every Die Hard movie is covered in his own blood.
Yeah.
But I think that
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But I think a lot of people do, and I think that became influential because after that, heroes would get messed up as
yeah.
the story progressed. I mean,
Yeah.
I still think John McClane's probably the most
beat up.
beat up at the end of it, probably because he's not Schwarzenegger. He doesn't have
Yeah.
like the giant
Biceps.
biceps, and he's not ripping out people's throats with his bare hands like Rambo or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's just a guy who's in decent shape, running around, trying his best to not get blown
killed,
up
yeah.
and killed, and doing a pretty good job
Job,
killing the
yeah.
bad guys.
Yeah.
And throwing out the one-liners, getting his quips in.
Yes,
Gotta get those quips in.
absolutely. So I guess we could wrap this up. I mean, I don't feel like this is gonna be a long review because it's freaking Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Olive, scale of 1 to 10. What would you give this movie?
I would give this a 7.
A 7. GG.
5.
5.
5. Ugh.
I'm gonna
It's
go.
not tracking well with the 12-year-old demographic.
12-year-old
Like I
demographic.
said, I didn't really watch this.
Was there anything in it that you thought was entertaining or fun? Oh wow.
No.
Dragon Die Hard.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think it's fun.
Die Hard.
It's full of action. It's
Die Hard.
It's Die Hard, yeah.
Yeah, I'd
the
give it-
tagline on the poster: 40 stories of sheer adventure. I mean, come on, what? God dang it!
Yeah, they were just that film was like a stepping stone from 80s cheese to 90s cheese.
Yes.
I would give it like an 8 or an 8.5 as well.
Yeah.
I really believe that it's the type of film that influenced a lot of action films
Absolutely.
that came after it.
Absolutely.
It really was, and I mean, hell, it made Bruce Willis's career.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Still
done-
around.
yeah.
He's
done 5 of them.
John McClane smashing through the window of a store in a commercial that's going on right now, pitching Die Hard batteries.
That's so sad.
Yeah. It is sad. It just I'm
Yeah,
like-
that's a little.
I look at
cringy.
that and I'm like, I see how old he is, and I'm like, I'm old. What are you doing, John McClane?
God dang it.
You don't work for Sears.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this was the template for like a lot of action movies, a lot of boom boom explosion. It's nice. I didn't realize that it's 2 hours and 12 minutes. I'm still mystified by that. It doesn't feel like it. To me, the story moves. I mean, I guess for the younger generation that needs more stimulation.
You know,
it's
and
a drag,
maybe
but-
that's what the films do now. They just sort of cut out the slow bits, the character
But
bits.
that's unfortunate. I feel like it really adds to the story. It really paints the picture of who this guy is.
It does, but I just think that maybe films just do it more efficiently now, because I don't feel like I'm being cheated out of character. Like when I watch a Marvel movie, I don't feel like I'm being cheated out of character.
But historically, those Marvel movies are long. I mean, if you think about it,
yeah, I guess. I mean,
there's no 90-minute Marvel movie. There's no 90-minute Marvel movie. Hour and a half?
an hour and a half is 90 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like they're more than 90 minutes.
I think the really big ones are, but I think just the general Marvel
I don't
movies.
agree.
Like,
I feel like
how long was the first Iron Man?
the first Iron Man?
Yeah.
Let's see. 2008, Robert Downey Jr., 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Oh,
So 6 minutes less than... I was going to say Ant-Man. I feel like Ant-Man was short.
Ant-Man was
2015, Ant-Man, 1 hour, 57 minutes.
almost
Not
2
really...
hours.
but
Just
not
shy
really
of 2
short.
hours. No.
Nothing short. The only thing that's short historically are horror movies. Because it's like you can't keep that frenetic pace for longer than a half an hour.
Yeah.
An hour and a half, I should say. But yeah, most Marvel movies clock it too. I feel like.
All right.
All right, we've gone off on a tangent. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's it from us, and we will bid everyone adieu, and we'll see everyone soon with another review. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.